Become a channel member and support the content. You also get access to exclusive videos. You'll get an emote next to your name in the comments. The link for that can be found next to the subscribe button or in the description. And if you'd rather get your coins direct rather than roll the dice with FIFA points, head to u7buy.com and at checkout use the code TVM for a discount. The link can be found down below. What is going on, guys? Tim here. Welcome back to a brand new video. It might be a little bit early to do this, but not really, because at the end of the transfer window, which is in like 5 days or so, EA tend to bring out a lot of transferred cards. Then they start looking at ones to watches, and then of course they do the upgrades. And with the way that EA have done certain promos this year already, we may even get winter upgrades sooner than last year. Now, and that being said, I wouldn't say start from the bottom. We are going to mix it up a little bit. I've not only got 11 players today because we're going to go through them and I'm going to let you guys leave me suggestions for players who you think should be upgraded in the future. Canale is, of course, up first. Old card 82, potentially up to an 84. He was an 84 last year. They downgraded him for seemingly no reason, and now it looks like he's going to be bumped back up to an 84 again. He, of course, has done really well this year. Creates chances, defends very, very well. He is a very, very important cog in that Real Betis machine. Moving on to Gonçalves. Can't say his name properly, but either way, as you can see, 13 games, 12 goals, 2 assists, 4 man of the match awards, and a very high rating. I think he already has an inform this year as well. So, of course, he did have some pretty big boots to fill. Bruno Fernandez left the club, and that obviously meant that he had to step into that role, and he's done it very, very well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him get upgraded. It's not like a card that's going to blow everyone away or anything, but if you're a fan of Sporting in particular, you'll be happy to see this. Moving on to Onuachu. Is that how you say his name? Probably not. He has 22 goals in 20 games with 2 assists and 5 man of the match awards. Now, that is only in the league. That isn't in any cup competition whatsoever. Certain stats are for all competition, certain stats for league. This is just the league, so that is pretty damn impressive. He is on fire right now, and I would not be surprised to see him get upgraded. Unfortunately, his card doesn't look that great. Delort for Montpellier has been doing it for quite a while now, but for 2 seasons in particular, he's just getting better and better. They have a few players, Montpellier, that could be in the running for upgrades. I think Laborde is another one. Delort with 11 goals in 22 games with 6 assists, 5 man of the match awards. This is across all competitions, though, not just the league. But still, I mean, you could argue for a striker that he should be doing a little bit better, but I think 11 goals and 6 assists is very, very good. Not as good as this guy. Haaland, 29 goals in 27 games. And this is in a season, of course, where Dortmund, in my personal opinion, are not really doing that well. They are very inconsistent. 3 assists, 5 man of the match awards, 7.85 average match rating. As someone who does Team of the Week predictions, I can't tell you how high that is. That is unbelievably good form. I mean, you have to include this guy if you're going to do any sort of prediction on winter upgrades. Maximilian Arnold up next with 32 tackles in 19 games, 1,276 passes, which sounds like a crazy amount, and it's not a low number. There are some higher, but I mean, that is still a lot of accurate passes. And then, of course, he has 6 goal contributions with an average match rating of 7.2. Definitely a consistent player for Wolfsburg, and someone that is always in my mind when I'm looking at things like Football Index and when I'm looking at Team of the Week predictions. I always go to have a look to see how he's done. Moving on to Trippier. He's done very, very well for Atletico. A consistent member of the team now. Of course, I don't know if they'll include him because of that whole betting scandal thing. But 46 tackles, 6 assists, and 36 interceptions in 26 games. It's impressive form. I think he's currently still serving that ban. I did have him down as a headliner, but again, I think EA would have probably swerved that due to his ban. But either way, definitely worth a mention. Let's move on to Kalinoglu, who, I mean, he's been consistent for years, and EA keep disrespecting him with the rating. They keep disrespecting him with the pace. Again, it comes down to which sort of, I don't know, which time they look at Kalinoglu, because he can play left, he can play centre, he sort of moves around a little bit, but with 3 goals and 7 assists in 28 games, it might not sound like a lot, but he has an awful lot of passing to the assister, if that makes sense. So he's got like an assist to an assist. Yeah. Let's move on to Jack Grealish, a player who could have moved, I should say. before the start of the newest season. Decided to stay with Villa, at least for another season, or maybe even 6 months, because he could go in January, but it doesn't look likely. And Aston Villa's form has been nothing short of remarkable. Honestly, I think many people had them tipped for a relegation battle this season, but not a bit of it. They are actually challenging the top 6 right now. 8 goals, 8 assists, 23 games played, 3 times man of the match, 7.7 match rating, very, very high, very consistent, 100% deserves the upgrade. Dasa is our penultimate player. 16 games, 29 tackles for a right back, 4 assists and 31 interceptions, just above a 7 match rating. Not like a player that is at the top of the list for winter upgrades, sure, but a player from a league that we don't often see special cards come from, so it would be nice to see a decent looking gold card come out of there. I mean, okay, a 75 rated card these days is not going to get used, but he definitely deserves an upgrade. We can't neglect people just because the cards aren't usable. Moving on to our final player, and that of course is Bruno Fernandez. I mean, you kind of have to put him in there, don't you? I mean, no disrespect to Man United and the rest of the players, but if it wasn't for Bruno Fernandez, Man United would barely be top 4, I think. Honestly, he's remarkable. He really is that good. 35 games, 16 goals. I don't know how many penalties there are in there. I don't think there's as many as people think there are. 9 assists and then 4 Man of the Match awards with 7.5 average match rating. Don't think I've got it. No, I've not got anything written down with regards to how many penalties he's scored. I know a lot of people think he's like a penalty merchant, and he does score his fair share, sure. But I think he does have a lot more goals from open play than people give him credit for. However, that is a pretty good return, and that is why he's the cover star of this video. He is the highest rated, or potentially could be the highest rated, and I think he deserves the upgrade. I would argue nearly more than anybody else on the list. Maybe Haaland deserves it more, but either way, regardless of who deserves it more, they both deserve it, right? So he's, I wouldn't say carried Man United, but he has been an integral part of that team. Without him, they would not have got certain results, and they wouldn't be where they are. So, yeah, deserves his upgrade. I've only done 11, and the reason for that is because I kind of want your input on this just as much as mine. So I've gone through the stats, and I've still got a few players. Well, I've got quite a few players, actually. Like, there's no Rangers player in there, for example. I think Tavernier could be a good shout. But I do have a list of players that I may be putting into another episode, but I want to get your ideas on this. So let me know in the comment section down below. Who do you think deserves an upgrade? Why? And however many you have is however many we'll put in. You know, if there's a lot of comments on this video and a lot of suggestions, a lot of upgrade potential, we can make another video. Let me know what you think of the current choices in the comment section as well. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and until the next time, goodbye.
Join the Betting Rebellion and find out what your football knowledge is really worth.